Hello, welcome to NOLA Stamping. I'm Barb Baldwin, and today we're going to be making a quick and easy Easter card using the on-the-go paper. We're really looking at the on-the-go paper this month. I know it's supposed to be a scrapbooking paper, but I find that it works so fantastically with cards. And there's just so much that you can do with it besides just, like travel cards and journaling and things like that, although it works great for that also. So we're going to take that pink plaid paper and we're going to cut a piece that is 4 inches by 5¼ inches. And I have a scrap that's perfect for that. And then we're going to take that green sort of linen-y sort of thing, and we're going to cut a piece that's 4¼ inches by 5½ inches. So that'll be the size of the A2 note card. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just gut this piece of paper and just create like a little border. So I'm just going to the 1/4 inch mark and then just sort of moving my trimmer back and forth, and then you can see it just makes a little line, and I'm making sure to not go all the way to the edges. And then I'm just going to put a post-it note down so that way I get the exact same dimension all the way around. So that border is the same like everywhere. So I just put my blade down in the middle and then just go edge to edge. And just sort of match that same border. And then I'm going to grab my tiny scissors and I'm just going to do the edges just so then that way the edges are nice and crisp and don't sort of overlap each other or something like that. Although it is kind of a fun effect when they overlap because it just looks kind of neat. But for this one, no, we're not going to do that. So then we'll have that nice little border and that smaller piece, and we're going to use some the stylish shapes, and I'm just going to use the smallest 4 circles and one of the dovetails, and I'm just going to go ahead and put the circles on the front of the card in sort of a randomy sort of pattern, and I was like, well, that looks kind of good. I always put the biggest one down first, and then work in the next order, and then just sort of make sure that it sort of looks nice to me. And then I'm going to put some washi tape down, and that way it'll stay in that same spot. And I'm going to go ahead and use my die cut machine to cut them out. And then I was looking at it, and I want something in that upper left-hand corner also, because, I'm going to have that dovetail on the side there, and so it felt like there's still something missing up in that corner. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that 3rd largest and just do a corner again. Which is okay because, I need to cut out the dovetails too. So for the dovetails, I'm also cutting out a piece of Smoky Slate, and then I'm cutting out a piece of white, and then I'm going to run through the that circle also at the same time. Okay, now once we're done with that, it's time to get stamping. So the easiest one to do, we'll do that first, the dovetail. And we're just going to put the Easter greetings in the white. And I'm using a Smoky Slate to put that on. You could match the that teal green if you wanted to make it pop out a little bit. Or the pink, that would be nice. But I wanted it to be legible, and Smoky Slate works great. So, and plus the shadow is Smoky Slate, so it just kind of matches really nicely. And so then what we're going to do is, where we put those circles, so I find it hard to stamp without knowing exactly where it needs to stamp. So I'm taking a very light colored pencil that I have. It's like a light tan, light yellow color. And I'm just, it's so hard to see, but luckily you can see it when we're stamping. That just tells you where to sort of aim those stamps at. So, that gives me an idea of what goes in what. And so then I'm just going to sort of arrange my stamps in those circles and there's so many beautiful little bunnies on that Storybook Friends. So I hadn't used that stamp set much, so I thought that it would be fun to pull that out, and it's perfect for the Easter greetings, right? So there's the little house in the upper corner, and then we've got all the different bunnies in the different circles. And they're just sort of playfully peeking out of the different holes so that you don't have to show the whole bunny. So it's a fun way to do it. And so we're going to go ahead and stamp everything in those holes. And I'm just sort of alternating between the Smoky Slate and Pretty in Pink. I thought it'd be fun to do like just a couple like in pink and then a couple in the Smoky Slate. And then I'm going to grab my water brush and I'm going to get most of the water off of it. So if you have it heavy with water, then the ink is going to run because it's the regular ink pads. But if you just take almost all of the water off, so it's only like less than 2% water, you can pick up some ink and just sort of draw in the ink a little bit. And that just gives it a nice little like watercolor wash. And I just try to do just a little tiny little bit. You know what else is fantastic is the Wink of Stella pens, where it's got the mica in it. Like that works perfectly with that also, because like those pens have like a different formula in them. I'm not sure. Anyways, works out great. So what I'm going to do is put some tape around the edges of the frame, and I'm using the tear tape just because like it's such a small area, and I was like, oh, I really want it to stay for sure. I could have used like the liquid adhesive or the tape runner, but I just chose to do the tear tape. And then I'm skipping the upper right hand corner. I'm making sure that there's no tape in the upper right hand corner, because we want to make sure that bunny gets seen, and it's like a playful little cutout in the upper corner. And I forgot to take into account the border. So I went ahead and trimmed it off, and then as soon as the paper is all together, you see that it's off by the border. So if you trim it off there, make sure to take into effect the border. Anyways, so I just trimmed off anything that was like hanging out. And then I'm going to go ahead and use a tape runner to just go ahead and adhere the paper with the holes, that nice pink plaid paper. And I mean, I know that it's not supposed to be Eastery, but for some reason, like these different patterns just really seem like very Eastery to me. So I really like how it came out. So I'm going to go ahead and trim up those last couple pieces, and I'm just sort of matching that same angle as the circle cutout. And then I'm going to attach the Easter greetings to the Smoky Slate and cut off the edge so that we can just have it as a straight edge on one side and then the dovetail on the other side for the greeting. And attach that. And everything's very flat on this card. Usually I use dimensionals, but I was like, oh, I want a super quick and easy card. And any card is not complete without some embellishments. So I went through my gems stash, and I'm going to go ahead and try and use up the in-color gems, just so then, but they really go along with the colors, so the greens and the pinks. So that's what I am doing. And I'm just going ahead and making sure that I have an odd number, and I just tried to add in as many as I can, because I love adding just that little bit of bling to a card. I know that this was a super easy card, but I needed a quick one, and this is a fun way to do that. You could zhuzh it up a little bit by coloring it, like with color pencils, or having somebody have a kid or a grandkid go ahead and color it in would be fun too. I think that would be a super great card to receive. And I just want to say thanks for making this card along with me. I hope you made it or made it your own. And don't forget to stay crafty.